I know. I look like the love child of Hercule Poirot and Dick Dastardly. But quite frankly, you put a guy through 3 lockdowns, sooner or later he's going to get bored. So essentially I'm blaming my facial hair on the government. Anyway, questionable whiskers aside, I've had a busy few months, so let's recap, I guess. I released my first horror game. Spent a month working on a construction site. Forgot Christmas was a thing. Suddenly remembered Christmas was a thing. Had a mad panic rush to finish a game in under 20 days. Spent a week and a half hunting all the bugs that come from rushing a game in under 20 days. And then sat in a dark corner and silently wept to myself while swearing off ever having stupid deadlines again. And finally saw this. Seriously, what the f*** is wrong with me? Yep. Literally seconds after swearing off of deadlines, I signed up for another stupidly tight deadline. Now, for those of you that aren't in the know, a game jam is essentially a contest set for indie developers like myself. And they have a preset bunch of rules and a theme and a deadline that you have to meet. I mean, in the case of this one, the idea is you pick a game that you started years ago but never finished developing, and you polish it up and get it ready for release by the end of January. I mean, all pretty simple stuff. But for those of you that go right back with me to the beginning, you'll know my collection of half-finished projects kind of looks a little bit like this. There's more than a few is what I'm saying. Anyway, not to be deterred, I decided to go dumpster diving. A game caught my eye and I dived in with the eagerness that can, well, quite frankly only come from drinking so much caffeine that you can see round corners. And I got to work. And you know what? It's starting to look pretty good. I mean, we got all the usual mechanics from the previous projects. We got a fun new monster that I have done the worst job of keeping secret. And we also have this. Yeah, we got combat mechanics now. So it's pretty safe to say I'm kind of excited with how this is shaping up. I mean, I've been at it for a few weeks and already it's starting to look pretty good. But that is the problem in itself, isn't it? You see, the better this starts to look, the more I remember what happens when I rush a project. So, I'm left with 2 choices, aren't I? I mean, I can either rush it through, have it done by the deadline and release a game to a resounding sound of meh, or I could take a few extra weeks and create something we can all truly be proud of here. So I know which one I'm going for. So as of now, I'm officially announcing that I'm pulling out of the jam, which is a sentence that granted sounded a lot better in my head. But preserve themed innuendos aside, I want to take some time over this one. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy, but a couple of extra weeks just to polish it up, make sure it gets the love it deserves, make sure you guys get the game you deserve. And yeah, I reckon by, what should we say, late February, we should have something genuinely exciting. So keep your eyes peeled for the next instalment of the Copperport Casefiles. Which kind of neatly takes me on to my next point, actually. So hopefully by now you've all tried out at least one of my games. And if not, they're still up for free on itch.io and the link is in the description below, so give them a try. But I just wanted to take a moment to clarify what it is you can expect from these and what the purpose is behind them. You all know the pattern by now. You're essentially a person trapped in a place where supernatural shenanigans have happened, and you uncover more and more of the story while you solve a few puzzles, and in the case of at least one of them, deal with a spatially unaware killer. But on top of this games also serve as my testing ground. They're basically my indie dev training wheels, if you will, where I get to try out a few new mechanics and ideas that I have, and also drip feed a little bit of the Copperport lore out there too before I start on the big project. Now, I don't want to go into too much detail about the big project yet because it is very early days, but essentially I'm looking at a big, well thought out story arc for the whole Copperport series. So, I say, I'm not going to mention too much, but just know it's coming. On the note of things to come, I want to have a bit of a refresh of the channel and get a lot more regular with the uploads. I'm hoping to get a fresh video out at least once every couple of weeks and focus the direction a lot more on the work I'm doing. So videos about the lore behind what I'm writing, some of the things I've learnt, how I do what I do, and I also want to do a bunch more of the videos I did on research into other games. Yeah, kind of like the Resident Evil one I did last year, because that was a lot of fun to do. It'd be nice to get back to that. While I'm at it, I should probably upgrade the setup I'm using as well, because I am currently filming on an 8-year-old phone duct taped to a broom handle. That's not sarcasm, by the way. I am literally filming on an 8-year-old Galaxy 5 duct taped to a broom handle. Which, I was literally about to turn around the camera to show you the camera there, so the sharper of you might have worked out the flaw in that plan. You might have picked up that I'm still not entirely sure what I'm doing with this channel, so any hints or tips in the comments below would be greatly appreciated. On the note of you guys, actually, thanks for all the support with the previous projects. I mean, all the downloads and donations, brilliant. Really appreciated and gratefully received. I also did receive a bunch of messages from people asking how they could help out with the project and help move it forward. And the answer's pretty simple to anyone wondering that. All those comment, subscribe and like buttons that I keep mentioning, they make all the difference in the world. And it sounds like a stupid thing to keep going on about, but it really affects how well these sites promote me and therefore how many people get to see my stuff. So essentially what I'm saying is every little thing you guys do matters. Oh, and on that note, tell your friends as well. Anyway, all the links for the socials are in the description down below, so click around and fill your boots. But I suppose I should stop wasting your time and get back to work. So I'll be seeing you soon, so stay safe, play nice, and I'll catch you then. Goodbye.